Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us for the Vault Tax Filing webinar. My name is Amanda, and today we're going to cover how we can help you submit your 990 report in Vault. Our agenda for today is Who is Omega Phi, frequently asked questions, which include when is your chapter's Form 990 tax return due, when your chapter's fiscal year ends, how to find your chapter's EIN, the $50,000 question, which is answered incorrectly most often, so we are going to show you how to answer it correctly, and how to maintain and update your external bank account register. We will also go over some best practices. As always, we welcome questions along the way, so please feel free to ask, but let's keep it general. Our tax specialist, Beth, is in attendance, and she will help answer questions throughout the webinar. I'll read those out loud at the end if there are several of a particular question. Any specific questions pertaining to your chapter or how your organization submits the 990 report should be directed to 990@omegaphi.com or your national organization. For more than 30 years, Omega Phi has provided technology solutions to help customers manage their finances, streamline their operations, recruit new members, and communicate with their members. We are based out of Columbus, Georgia. We securely process more than 1.1 million per day for our clients and have securely processed more than 4 billion since 1992. We're also deeply committed to serving, promoting, and advancing the fraternity and sorority experience. We are passionate about what we do, and it's this passion that has encouraged our clients to trust us to do the heavy lifting so they can focus on their mission and having fun. So each year, your chapter is responsible for filing a Form 990 with the IRS. Late filing or failure to file an annual return will result in IRS late penalties or fines. 3 consecutive years of non-filing will cause an exempt organization to lose their exempt status. So let's start by answering the question, when is your chapter's Form 990 tax return due? The Form 990 tax return is due to the IRS by the 15th day of the 5th month following your chapter's fiscal year end. And just because it's submitted on Vault on the 15th doesn't mean it's submitted to the IRS. Ideally, you should submit the 990 report as soon as you can after your fiscal year ends. 990 reports submitted less than 2 weeks prior to the return due date will be extended and you'll be charged an extension fee. With that being said, these are the dates your Form 990 tax return is due. May 15th for fiscal year ending 12/31, October 15th for fiscal year ending 5/31, and November 15th for fiscal year ending 6/30. You can find your chapter's fiscal year end in Vault under the chapter menu and then chapter detail. So here you can see where your fiscal year is, and you can also see your federal tax ID number that is located here as well. You'll need to write that down so you will have it when that question appears on the 990 report. And then to submit your 990 report, you'll do so directly in Vault under the accounting menu and then click on tax filing. The second thing you will need is the answer to the question, are your chapter's gross receipts $50,000 or less? Oftentimes, this question is answered yes incorrectly, and answering it incorrectly will cause you to have to resubmit the form and delay the process. It is very important to check your income for the tax year before answering that question. The way to check to see what that is, you'll click on Accounting, then you'll select Income Statement, and then under the Report section, you'll click on the arrow and choose Income State Detail. Make sure that the dates are the dates that match your tax period, and then you'll click on Submit. If you determine your chapter's gross receipts are more than $50,000, you will then need to reconcile your income expense report. The most common reason for an income expense form imbalance is that cash transactions have occurred during the tax period that are not recorded in Vault. Often, this is because the organization has an external bank account outside of Vault. An example of an external bank account would be a checking or savings account your organization maintains at a local bank. If at any point during the tax year, your chapter transferred funds from Vault to an external cash account at a local bank, you must enter those transactions into the 990 report. You will need to have copies available of monthly bank statements for your organization's external bank accounts for each month of the tax period. To avoid having to update a year's worth of transactions, we recommend updating your external bank account on a weekly or bi-weekly basis. To update your external bank account register, you'll go to Accounting and then Account Registers. And under the Bank Account section, you will see your external bank account. One thing to note, Omega Phi only records transfers to this bank account that comes from one of your bill pay funds. However, we do not have access to your external bank account, so we do not know what expenses or income go through that account. This is why it is your chapter's responsibility to keep it updated. So to do that, you'll click into the register, and then to add income to the register, to add income or expenses to the register, you'll click on Quick Entry. And to add income, you'll click on Receipt. You'll put the date, the payer, and the amount. And if you need to split out the income account, you can do that. The more detailed you can be, the easier it will be to submit your 990 report. And so, for example, if John Doe makes a payment of $500, but $250 of that is chapter dues and fees, and the other $250 is national dues and fees, you can split that out and then choose the correct income account and put the amount. And then you can put any notes that you need to add and if it's been cleared. If it has not been cleared yet, you can edit the entry at a later date for when it does clear. And then to add an expense, it's still under Quick Entry, and then you'll click on Disbursement. And from here, you'll do the same things that you did on the Receipt tab. If your chapter does not have an external bank account and you use bill pay exclusively, you will not need to take this additional step. Vault does all of this for you and makes it that much easier when it's time for your chapter to submit their 990 report. So we have answered when does your chapter need to file, how to find your tax ID number, how to answer the $50,000 question, and how to update and maintain your external bank account and why you need to do that. Now I'm going to switch back to PowerPoint so we can go over best practices. So first, it is best to use Vault for everything. This includes setting up scheduled charges, processing all payments within Vault. If you need to add additional fees to a member's account, to do that in Vault as well. That can include t-shirts, fines, or anything else that you may need to add to a member's account. We suggest that you use bill pay to pay vendors and order an officer purchasing card to help with expenses that need to be taken care of immediately. Again, make sure to process all payments through Omega Phi. Do not collect locally, because if you do, that is an extra thing you will have to record when submitting your 990 report in Vault. The second thing is we recommend using a PO box for your 990 report and all things related to tax filing. It needs to be a neutral location so future officers can also receive mail. The third thing is make sure to cover tax filing during officer transitions. Make sure your successor knows when returns are due and if your chapter is current in filing. And number 4, according to the IRS, there are certain records a tax-exempt organization must keep. This includes books and records to show they are in compliance with tax rules. The organization must be able to document the sources of receipts and expenditures reported on its annual return and on any tax returns it must file. Records must support income, expenses, and credits reported on exempt organization annual returns and tax returns. Books and records must be available for inspection by the IRS. If the IRS examines an organization's returns, the organization must have records to explain items reported. Having a complete set of records will speed up the examination. If you need additional assistance, you can use our Help Center. You can click on the Get Help button within Vault and then click on Vault Tax Filing. We recently uploaded 2 Vault tax filing videos to help you submit your 990 report. The first video walks you through how to answer the $50,000 question, and the second video gives step-by-step instructions on how to submit your 990 report. If you still have questions after reviewing those articles and videos, you can reach out to 990@omegaphi.com. This webinar was helpful for you today. It will be uploaded to our YouTube channel and we will email it out. So everyone have a great day.